Hello everyone, this is Nickabenson, and this is our first video log. At least from the webcam, that is. So, on today's video, we're going to talk about what's happened today. But currently it's 7 o'clock in the morning, so I'm going to do intermediate video logs, link them together, add some cool edited photos, and make a movie out of it. So let's see how that goes. This is Nickabenson, logging out.
Let's check out some edited photos.
Okay, so KOTD rap battles, or King of the Dot. King of the Dot rap battles are pretty interesting. You get rappers who are kind of like street rappers, but you also get rappers who are established. Like, I've never heard of XL until King of the Dot, but then I heard of Dumbfounded from Itchy Ma. So some of the rappers you may know, some of the rappers may be new to you. They do freestyle rap battles where they try to diss each other. It's rather entertaining. Some of their lines are really good. They all have different styles, and all their styles are good in their own way. Tulpas, I've already talked about in my 60-second metaphysics video, but today I'm going to explain how tulpas can physically manifest. Inner sense cultivation is experiencing the spiritual or God through imagination on a high sensory level. So immersing yourself in your senses, whether it's like smell, sight, taste, touch, hearing. You're imagining your senses being immersed within the spiritual. Now, while evangelical Christians use inner sense cultivation in order to experience God directly, you can use it to explore other spiritual concepts like energy, chi, and that is what you're doing when you're manipulating chi. You're creating a psi ball. You are imagining the energy flowing through your hands, but also imagining feeling it against your hands, feeling the sensations, feeling it change from hot to cold. And as you're doing that, you're developing your inner sense cultivation, which allows you to have deeper sensory experiences, have more unusual sensory experiences, and open you up to having visions in your everyday life. This is all very important because Ryan Research Institute did a study with a grant funding from the Bio Foundation. And what they found is that experienced energy manipulators were able to increase the number of biophotons released from their body. Now, biophotons are a form of invisible energy that are released by all living things, and it's a scientific invisible energy, unlike chi, which is more of like a spiritual, metaphysical energy. So, biophotons are a byproduct of this direct inner sense cultivation action, which shows that tulpas, which are thought forms or spiritual entities that are imagined and experienced, similar to how evangelical Christians experience God, these tulpas are manifest through your release of biophotons. Your biophoton release is how the tulpas have some form of measurable physical manifestation. Now, biophotons only move so far from the body. The body kind of emanates it, kind of like an aura. And you're saying, well, that's not really its own independent physical manifestation, but hear me out. There's another research paper that I looked at that talked about how ultra-weak, ultraviolet radiation, similar to biophotons, can move through the air if the oxygen is reactive enough due to humidity, which means that your tulpa can emanate not only as biophotons, but also away from you into space. Now, biophotons can be sensed through heat. You can release biophotons that can change temperature, essentially. And when you make a chi ball or a psi ball, you can feel temperature changes and even enact physical temperature changes. So, what I'm getting at is that you should be able to do tulpa experiments in which you use inner sense cultivation in order to generate your tulpa. You have your tulpa move through space, and then if you've ever watched one of those ghost hunter shows where they use the thermal cameras to look for cold spots or warm spots, you could do something similarly to scan for the physical manifestation of your tulpa. So you essentially will scan the area for it, and you'll be able to see where the warm spot or the cold spot is based on your biophoton release, or at least that's what I feel in theory. And in case you've been confused about what a tulpa is, it could be a mental manifestation as a psychological thing, because not all tulpamancers or people who make tulpas see tulpas as spiritual, but some people who make thought forms or tulpas consider them to be spiritual manifestations created from the mind, manifestations being independent entities. So I'm talking more toward that type of tulpamancy. So I hope this was informative. There will be more added onto this video because this is going to be just a big compilation of other videos I make. So I'll see you guys soon, like in a few seconds probably. Because I really enjoy Rozzy K Beats, and I just want to make a shout out to him real quick. I've had a lot of requests to make more crime fighting videos, but as I said in my A Day in a Life video, a lot of my crime fighting recently has been charitable action through the Care2 social network, as well as helping people with their paranormal problems on Fiverr. So what I can do for you guys is if you guys post comments in the description, if you post comments below this video, then I can answer your questions in short video segments like this. So when I make these long compilation videos, I can have your questions answered to you in video format. So I find that to be pretty cool. Also, you can email me at jetblackrlsh@gmail.com, aka jetblackrealifesuperhero. So hook me up on there, and I'll answer your questions in the video. Of course, appropriate questions and questions involving crime fighting, the paranormal, psychology. I'm getting more into cultural anthropology, what's going on in the science world. I'm open to anything. So thank you for your time, and there's more to come, so stay tuned. Shout out to Bob Burden, shout out to Superhero, shout out to Night Strike and all the crime fighters in Racine, Wisconsin. I believe it's the Quantum Syndicate in Racine, Wisconsin. Shout out to Infernus Flame, shout out to everyone. You may not realize this, but it's been a very long time since my last video post. I know I've posted a lot of like cool edit videos and stuff like that, but a legitimate video post where I get to talk to you guys, tell you guys what's going on, answer your questions, it's been a minute. People have been talking about my haircut. I've been getting like messages on Facebook and stuff. Yeah, I've recently been doing this thing where I'll have no facial hair, but then hair on the top of my head, and then I'll have no hair on the top of my head and a lot of facial hair, and I'll swap them up. I've even done this thing where I'll keep my mustache, but I'll shave one side of my face and leave the other side with hair. People don't notice. As long as your mustache is full, people will not notice that one half is not shaven. Most people only see you from one side at any given time, and they fill in the other side with their imagination. So even if they see a glimpse, they may not fully realize that the other side of your face is shaved. I've even like bet people, like if they can tell me what's different, that I'll like give them money. People never get it. People never get it at all. So that's been really interesting. But thank you guys so much. Thank you Dark Ghost, thank you Geist, thank you Frank Castle, thank you Trone, thank you everybody in the Rock City Crime Fighters. Thank you personally, just whoever's watching. Just a guy. New Scientist did a post recently on Culture Lab about Kabbalicism and neuroscience. What? You put two of my two favorite things together. Thank you. So their post is talking about how Kabbalic mysticism and neuroscience actually have a few common elements, and by common elements I mean neuroscience can help explain some of the phenomena of Kabbalicism without taking away all the mysticism behind Kabbalicism. So there's a Kabbalic technique that allows you to use autoscopy. I believe that is the correct term. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Autoscopy is where you're able to see a doppelganger of yourself within, I'm not sure if it's within your mind's eye or if you actually see it as like a hallucination. And you're like, what's the difference between mind's eye and hallucination? Imagine a dog right now. That's in your mind's eye. Now, a hallucination would be you look in the physical plane and you see a dog before you. So, I'm not sure which they were talking about. I feel like it's more of a hallucination, you see it before you, because mind's eye, anybody can just imagine a dog. but not everyone has the fully fleshed out imagination to where they can place imagined entities within their spatial realm and it still have that realistic connotation as if you're looking at an actual dog rather than an imagined dog. So I believe autoscopy is seeing a hallucination, realistic doppelganger of yourself. And there's a Kabbalist technique that allows you to actually create your own doppelganger, and I think that's awesome. I want to try it, but the description they gave was kind of odd. So the technique is you visualize yourself with a body and without a body, while also saying a Kabbalic word, which I believe will probably be one of the 72 names of God. That's the only Hebrew that I really have looked at through. So if I was to do it, I'd probably do it with one of the 72 names of God. And I would then have to visualize the letters rotating, but they don't say whether or not the letters are in a line and they're rotating like this, or if each individual letter is rotating. So it didn't say. So I'm going to have to try both methods. You do that while visualizing yourself with and without a body, and also while saying the Kabbalic words. So it's kind of like pat your head, rub your tummy at the same time kind of thing. I messed it up. Okay, yeah. But essentially I'm going to have to juggle all those things at the same time and see if I'm able to make the autoscopy effect happen. So cross your fingers. I hope that works out. Talking more about what's going on with me, I'm waiting for classes to start back for the summer semester. No, summer semester just ended. See, I'm still kind of like in that mental zone for summer semester. I'm waiting for the fall semester to start up. For the summer semester, I took very short classes. I took a 1-hour course, a 2-hour course, and a 3-hour course. And that sounds misleading because it sounds like my classes are like the length of movies. But what it means is that for a class session, you only meet up for an hour, or you only meet up for 2 hours, or you only meet up for 3 hours each class session, but it's still like a semester. The summer semester was a micro semester, so it took all the course information and coursework and it crunched it into a shorter period of time. So for a normal semester, I would have had more class sessions, but I didn't because it was a micro semester. So I got the same content in a shorter amount of time. I made all A's in my summer micro semester, and I hope to also make all A's within the fall semester, even though the workload will be way more, but spread out more evenly, because in the summer micro semester you would have presentations about a business that you went to go visit, and you'd have to do a group presentation, and it would be due the next morning, 9:30 a.m. So you would have to get a 15-minute presentation on a business that you visited, due the very next day, be as professional as you can, no note cards, no looking at the screen, just do your best. And that's not really that bad. Like, I didn't think it was too hard of a challenge, but then they told us that in an actual school semester, what we got one night to do, essentially, what you would do in a normal class would maybe be like a month later, or even like a week later, you would do that presentation, which is crazy. So my roommate recently showed up, one of 3. I didn't pick my roommates this time, so this is going to be interesting, meeting each of them individually. So far my current roommate has been great, and I hope my other roommates are also pretty awesome too. So let's see, I have covered Kabbalicism and what's going on in college so far. That's about it. Don't worry, there'll be more in this video, so stay tuned, and this is Jet Black, vlogging on. My exercise regimen has changed drastically recently. I used to do 157 sit-ups every morning and 26 push-ups. And I used to do the sit-ups, and I would time myself, and I'd try and get like better and better times over time. Eventually I could do it in like 3 minutes, but then over time I slowed down, so I was doing it, there's no way I was doing it in 3 minutes, 4 minutes. I was about to say, like, maybe 3 minutes if you're going to be like really messed up afterwards, because it's a lot to do like as soon as you wake up. But 157 sit-ups I think 4 minutes is probably my best time. I think when I started, it probably took me like 7 minutes to do it, so I knocked off about 3 minutes. If I've ever done it at 3 minutes, I probably really surprised myself. That's a lot. That's a lot for 3 minutes. But I used to do 157 sit-ups in 4 minutes, and then 26 push-ups, and I could kind of knock it out like that. I normally would have to do like 20, and then hold myself up for a second and wait, and then do the other 6. Now I'm doing 30 push-ups, and I'm doing 4 minutes and 30 seconds of knee thrusts, and I'm doing drawing in throughout the day. Now you may be wondering, what's drawing in? Have you ever like sucked in your stomach and you look like kind of skinny? I learned from a Harvard website, no, not Harvard, a Stanford website. Crap. Now I can't tell if it was Harvard or Stanford. If you look it up, you'll find it. But essentially, drawing in is a core exercise where essentially you just suck in your stomach. But it's not as simple as that, because if it was that easy, I feel like everybody would do drawing in. You suck in your stomach, but you can continually do that, if that makes sense. I like to call them charges. It's like your first charge is just like kind of sucking in your stomach, and then your second charge you get tighter, and your second charge, in your third charge you get tighter, fourth charge tighter, and you want to do as many charges as you can for as long a period of time. So doing 10 charges doesn't sound like a big thing, because that's just sucking in your gut tighter and tighter 10 times. And what you're doing is you're directly working those core muscles. But while 10 charges don't sound like a lot, 10 charges over like a full period of time, or during your exercise routine, like you're tightening your core muscles while working your core muscles, doing those push-ups or doing those knee thrusts, it really changes the game on me. So I like to try and do core charges, or drawing in as it's actually called. I like to do that throughout the day, because you can just do it whenever. You can do it when you're laying down, when you're sitting up, when you're standing. You can do it on the go. I like to do that, and I like to push myself. I like to try and do 100 charges, and that's getting tighter every time, so every increment is tighter. And I like to do 100 charges and hold it, and see like how long I can hold it. And I like to do like a limited number of charges, like maybe like 60, but then you try and hold it for a few minutes, so that's my new exercise routine. You may be wondering, where's all the combat related stuff? The knee thrusts are actually a martial arts thing, and when you do a knee thrust, you're simulating grabbing someone's head and slamming into your knee. And I do that for 4 minutes and 30 seconds straight, because it's on the same level as my sit-ups were, essentially. So it's like doing sit-ups, but I don't have to do it on this hard floor, so I don't have to like hit my back against the hard floor going up and down with the sit-ups. If you've ever seen me do sit-ups, I do really violent sit-ups, which is weird, but that's just like how I do it. So instead of having to hit my back against the floor repeatedly, I can do the knee thrust, and it's really helped with my core exercise regimen. I'm really liking the drawing in thing though. The drawing in is awesome. When it comes to hand-to-hand combat, I still like to do tegatana every once in a while, and with my energy manipulation being how I make money through Fiverr, Tai Chi is a must, so I do Tai Chi specifically for my job though. I normally don't do Tai Chi out of actually using my energy for a purpose. So anyways, this is Jet Black, and there's probably more to come, so stay tuned. Okay, hello, this is Nickabenson, and I'm about to do an interview with Marcy. At least, hopefully, I'll be doing an interview with Marcy.
I didn't know that name. It's concerning.
So, we've tried to do this interview 5 times now. I believe 5 times. And we've been filming for 44 minutes and have no footage. The camera keeps disconnecting. So please bear with us, and please enjoy this interview with Marcy, with ultra lounge music in the background. Spontaneous 3-second interview, because now she has to go to lunch because we're supposed to be recording, but we recorded and didn't get any footage. So 3-second interview. Who are you?
Marcelia.
Where are we?
CCRH. I feel like these are trick questions.
What do you do?
Stuff? Yes, I'm an RA. Sometimes. I guess all the time.
What are your talents and skills?
Yeah, I do decorate stuff.
You like Doctor Who.
I do like Doctor Who, and I bake.
You use the oven thing. That trick that you told me about the oven.
The oven.
The oven trick. Where it's like chain link.
Oh, yeah! Yeah, you can, if you didn't know, if you have a specific model of oven, which I don't know what it is because I don't technology enough for that, you can set your oven to start cooking on a delay. So like, if you want to go to the store but you have something that you want to put in the oven that you want to be done when you get back from the store, but it's going to take less time for it to cook than you would be at the store for, you can say, hey oven, I want you to start cooking in like 30 minutes. And the oven's like, okay, I can do that. And then in 30 minutes the oven will start cooking, and then you can set the oven so that it'll stop cooking and say another 30 minutes. So say you're only going to be at the store for an hour, but it's only going to take 30 minutes for like your stuff to cook. So you're like, oven, start cooking in 30 minutes and only cook for 30 minutes. And your oven's like, okay, I can do that. And then it does.
I'm sorry that I lied to you in the intro and said, there'll be ultra lounge music playing in the background. I sure didn't do that. Diggity-ga.
Well, we can always like do the interview after I have to do lunch.
Yeah, we can do a bonus interview after lunch. What? More content. Anyways, this is your introduction to Marcy. You would have had like a way bigger introduction if we had gotten that 44 minutes of footage. But anyways, I'll catch you guys later, and stay tuned for more content.
And music.
And music. Dun 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 dun. Doo doo. Spontaneous 3-second interview, because now she has to go to lunch because we're supposed to be recording, but we recorded and didn't get any footage. So 3-second interview. Who are you?
Marcilia.
Where are we?
CCRH. I feel like these are trick questions.
What do you do?
Stuff? Yes, I'm an RA. Sometimes. I guess all the time.
What are your talents and skills?
Yeah, I do decorate stuff.
You like Doctor Who.
I do like Doctor Who, and I bake.
You use the oven thing. That trick that you told me about the oven.
The oven.
The oven trick. Where it's like chain link.
Oh, yeah! Yeah, you can, if you didn't know, if you have a specific model of oven, which I don't know what it is because I don't technology enough for that, you can set your oven to start cooking on a delay. So like, if you want to go to the store but you have something that you want to put in the oven that you want to be done when you get back from the store, but it's going to take less time for it to cook than you would be at the store for, you can say, hey oven, I want you to start cooking in like 30 minutes. And the oven's like, okay, I can do that. And then in 30 minutes the oven will start cooking, and then you can set the oven so that it'll stop cooking and say another 30 minutes. So say you're only going to be at the store for an hour, but it's only going to take 30 minutes for like your stuff to cook. So you're like, oven, start cooking in 30 minutes and only cook for 30 minutes. And your oven's like, okay, I can do that. And then it does.
I'm sorry that I lied to you in the intro and said, there'll be ultra lounge music playing in the background. I sure didn't do that. Diggity-ga.
Well, we can always like do the interview after I have to do lunch.
Yeah, we can do a bonus interview after lunch. What? More content. Anyways, this is your introduction to Marcy. You would have had like a way bigger introduction if we had gotten that 44 minutes of footage. But anyways, I'll catch you guys later, and stay tuned for more content.
And music.
And music. Dun 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 dun. Doo doo. Okay, so I've been playing with sound effects on my instance, and I noticed that one of the sound effects is actually a song. And I was like, wow, this sounds like it could be in an anime or something. So can you post in the comments down below if this actually is from an anime? I'm going to play it now for you.
Don't lose your way.
It reminds me of like music that I've heard on a variety of different animes. It has that kind of like rock kind of thing, but at the same time with like the hard singing about a concept. You know what I'm talking about if you watch anime. So yeah, if that's a part of an anime of some kind, post down in the comments below. I'll check it out, just based on the theme song. Oh, and if you just have any anime recommendations in general, post in the comments below. I'll see what you're talking about. Maybe I'll review it. Who knows? Okay, things are dying down a little bit. Let's take a short break, and then we'll make our way back to the show.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
I guess we're back. And before we start back with the show, I just gotta warn you. Because we're going to have some of the best content we've ever had. Not really, just gonna have some random stuff thrown in. So I hope you enjoy it. Boop 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 ba da da. So you may be wondering, are there going to be new Nickabenson videos soon? I'll take that as a yes. Kind of search for people to interview. Now it's time to interview the active RA on duty. Please introduce yourself, active RA. Oh yes, well, I'm glad you could have me on your show. So, as active RA, you know, one of my main jobs is to sit at this desk, watch people as they come into the door, be able to assist them, do improvised interviews like this, and most importantly, to keep the salt and pepper in check, make sure they don't mix, and keep your food seasoned correctly, and I assure you that is salt and not sugar. Thank you for this interview. I feel like you've really informed your audience on how often RAs are available at their desk during the summertime before move-in day. My goal is to interview at least one RA today, and while all the RAs are gone to their Bevel Center lunch, I'll be interviewing this weird automated interviewing system I've found in the hallway. What is this? Apparently, you can interview them without them being there. For example, Kara, what is your title? I see you're a resident assistant. What is your major? Mechanical engineering, nice. What is your favorite song? Listen to the Man by George Ezra. What's your favorite movie? The Departed. Where are you from? Houston, Texas. And what is your favorite sport? Softball/baseball. Well, it was nice meeting you, Kara. It was great for you guys to put these automated interview systems. It's just like the real thing. Not really. Don't worry. We'll find somebody to interview. There has to be somebody here. So right now we are here with...
Oh, hello there. I'm Spencer Jones.
Tell us a little bit about yourself, Spencer.
I like long walks on the beach and candlelit dinners. And I enjoy being outside and meeting new people.
Nice.
Don't do drugs and stay in school. Amen!
Sounds like a plan. Thank you for your time, Spencer.
No problem, dude.
Okay, so I have a refrigerator leak, so we now have a mission. We're gonna go find Amy and tell Amy about this refrigerator leak. And here's some footage of the refrigerator leak. Can it see it?
Not quite.
Nope.
Down a little. Yeah, there it is.
There it is. There's the leak. So now we're on a mission. Dun 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 dun.
You gotta sing the next verse.
Oh, that's too mainstream.
You'll probably lose connection.
Wait, are we going up?
No, we're going down. Did I press up?
Yeah, you pressed up.
Oops.
So we went up to Amy and we're taking care of the leak situation. Hello, introduce yourself. Tell us about you.
I'm Alex.
I'm sorry, what was your room? 301?
306.
Oh, in room 306.
So tell me more about yourself.
And there's a big
I'm Alex.
water
I'm an RA here at CC.
right now.
I work for lots of different places on campus. So
Bye-bye.
Cool. It was great to meet you, Alex.
nice to meet you too, Chad.
Alright, now they're running.
That handshake totally wasn't filmed. Almost had it though.
Thank you, man.
Dun
You're
dun.
welcome. I'm taking
Yeah.
the trash too.
Oh, would you like to have a cool edited picture where it looks like you have fire powers? Sounds like a yes. So maintenance has come by, and they'll be back in a few days to check on the refrigerator, make sure everything is alright. So, now that that's taken care of, let's move on with the rest of our show.